Ola Electric just launched their most affordable electric scooter, and it costs just 39,999 rupees. I'm Caleb Friesen, and you're watching our weekly Indian startup news show here at Backstage with Millionaires. So the Ola Gig comes with a swappable 1.5 kilowatt-hour battery, offering a range of 112 kilometers and a top speed of just 25 kilometers per hour. Now, why is it so slow? Well, it's meant for short distance deliveries, which is perfect for gig workers in urban areas, but that's not all, because Ola Electric has also launched a second version called the Ola Gig Plus, designed for heavier payloads and longer distances. The Gig Plus comes with two options. The first one is with a single swappable battery providing a range of 81 kilometers per charge, and another one comes with two batteries offering a range of 157 kilometers per charge. And both of these versions have a higher top speed of 45 kilometers per hour, and they're priced at 39,999 rupees and 49,999 rupees respectively. Now, Ola didn't stop there this week. They've also launched cheaper versions of their popular S1 series, the S1Z and the S1Z Plus, and both of these scooters offer 70 kilometers per hour top speed and a range of 75 kilometers per charge with one battery. And these two variants are priced at 59,999 rupees and 49,999 rupees respectively. Now, customers also have the option to add a second portable battery to these scooters, increasing the range to 146 kilometers. And there is actually a reason why Ola Electric chose to add swappable batteries to their new scooters. They're launching the PowerPod, which is an inverter that lets you use your scooter's battery as power for your home or your apartment. The PowerPod is priced at 9,999 rupees, and these launches couldn't have come at a better time. Ola's stock price has been falling for weeks, and just a couple of days ago, on the 24th of November, another video of someone smashing their Ola Electric scooter went viral after the owner received a 90,000 rupees servicing bill a month after they bought the scooter. However, in the last 5 days, Ola Electric stock price has actually jumped nearly 40%, thanks in part to these new product launches and also a buy rating from global brokerage firm Citi with a target price of 90 rupees per share. All right, next up, I want to talk about the advent of Multimodal AI Hackathon, which is being put on by Intel Liftoff, and they're offering prizes worth $10,000, and this is open to Indian AI founders, developers, and students. Now, the event is virtual, so you don't need to travel anywhere, and it's going to be happening between the 11th and 13th of December 2024. Also, the registration deadline is the 5th of December, and also apart from the $10,000 in Intel Tiber AI Cloud credits that you could win, winners will also get featured in the Intel Liftoff blog, and also there will be an interview on their podcast, which means that this is a great opportunity for visibility. The focus of the hackathon will be multimodal applications, model inference, RAG, and AI vision, and participants will also have access to the Intel Tiber AI Cloud with dedicated learning resources, Jupyter notebooks, and access to Intel GPUs and CPUs. And you can find the registration link for this hackathon in the description and also in the pinned comment down below. And a big thanks to Intel Liftoff for sponsoring this video. All right, next up in the news, and speaking of AI here, India is getting its first AI lab in space. So this Hyderabad-based space tech startup TakeMe2Space is gearing up to launch their ambitious project called My Orbital Infrastructure Technology Demonstrator on board ISRO's PSLV C-60 in mid-December. But of course, here is the big question: why do we need an AI lab in space? Well, satellites capture petabytes of data every single day, but there's a problem. 40% of this data is unusable, and processing it, well, that happens back on Earth. And sending all this data down to our planet's surface creates huge costs and latency issues, and this is where TakeMe2Space's AI lab comes in. Instead of sending raw data back to Earth, their lab will process it right in space and deliver real-time insights. So this will be a game changer for industries that are relying on satellite data, from weather forecasting to agriculture. But this project isn't just about solving today's problems. It's a technology demonstrator for something even bigger, which is space-based data centers. Now, currently, these data centers are about 10 to 15 times more expensive than Earth-based ones. However, keeping them in space is better for the environment. And also, the cost of setting them up in space is expected to decrease over time. All right, next up in the news, seems like everything we're talking about this week is AI, because Phonepe has launched their own machine learning framework called Edge. So this is an on-device AI system that processes data directly on users' phones or tablets, and by handling tasks locally, it improves response times, reduces dependency on internet connectivity, and enhances data privacy by limiting the need to send sensitive information to external servers. And of course, one key use here is bill payments. Edge can scan SMS messages to get bill details and then send payment reminders without exposing financial data. This will also streamline car insurance inspections by validating photos in in real time, minimizing errors and reducing policy rejections. And then for credit cards, it can scan details from video frames, removing the need for manual entry. And again, this would all be happening offline, locally on people's phones. Now, Phonepe plans to expand the framework within features like live photo detection for KYC and tools to fix document errors, ensuring data usage remains strictly permission-based. All right, next up in the news, Amazon is finally entering India's quick commerce market. So after failing to acquire Swiggy Instamart, the e-commerce giant is now gearing up to launch its own quick commerce platform, currently codenamed Tez. Now, reports suggest that this launch could happen as early as December of 2024, moving up the timeline from the first quarter of 2025, which was the previous timeline. And this move is definitely big, not just because Amazon is late to India's quick commerce game, but also because India is the first market globally where Amazon is entering this space. The quick commerce sector in India is currently valued at $7 billion, but it's expected to grow rapidly, reaching up to $55 billion by 2030, making it one of the most lucrative online markets in the country. Now, Amazon isn't planning on reinventing the wheel here. They're reportedly following the same playbook as their competitors, setting up dark stores, finalizing SKUs, and building logistics infrastructure for ultra-fast deliveries, starting with groceries and daily essentials. They're also making fresh hires for this high-priority project, which has been described internally as a ground-up initiative for this fast-growing sector. All right, now let's move into some quick updates here. Just want to skim through these. Tata Neu has launched the pilot for their own quick commerce service, Neu Flash, and it's already live in more than 20 cities. All right, next up, Zomato's Deepinder Goyal has said that he won't be taking any salary until FY26. So his base salary is 3.5 crore rupees per annum, but he has said that he's not going to be taking any salary, and he hasn't been taking any salary since April of 2021. Now, base salary isn't the only cash payment that he's entitled to. He's also entitled to a variable pay that's left up to the discretion of the company's board. And then on top of that, let's not forget that Deepinder owns 4.18% of the company, which translates to over 10,000 crore rupees. Next, Uber has introduced their Uber One subscription in India, and some of the benefits offered under this subscription plan for Indian users include Uber credits capped at 150 rupees per ride, and also complimentary Zomato Gold membership for 3 months. And then finally, drone startup EndureAir Systems has delivered their Sabal 20 drones to the Indian Army. These drones can carry up to 20 kilos of payload and will be used to replace mules, ponies, and even helicopters to get access to essential supplies. All right, now let's move into the funny news segment for today's video. So this week, Indian startups raised just $83 million, which is a lot less than last week, and it's also below the trend line. But before I talk about this week's funding, I want to talk about something that happened last week. Mumbai-based quick commerce startup Zepto raised an additional $350 million in their Series G round at a $5 billion valuation. Okay, so now looking at this week, first of all, we have Pune-based credit card startup OneCard. They raised $28.5 million. Then after that, we have Bengaluru-based e-commerce enabler ShopDeck, a company that's offering a comprehensive suite of tools and services designed for offline sellers to establish their online store, process payments, and handle logistics, and they raised $8 million in their seed round. Then after that, we have Mumbai-based Alchemy, which lets international companies discover and source specialty chemicals from India and Southeast Asia, and they raised $5.6 million in their Series A round. And then next, we have Bengaluru-based smart kitchen appliances startup Beyond Appliances, which sells products like convertible hobtop and Android-powered chimneys, and they raised $2 million in their seed round. After that, we have Delhi-based biomaterials startup Uki, which turns agricultural waste like leftover rice husks and hemp stalks into eco-friendly plastics that break down naturally and don't harm the environment, and they've raised $1.2 million in their pre-seed round. And then finally, we have a Mumbai-based company called True Diamond, which is making lab-grown diamond jewelry, and they raised $1 million in their seed round. All right, that is all the startup news that I have for you guys this week. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. I'm Caleb Friesen, and this has been Backstage with Millionaires. Catch you in the next one.